The crypto world is changing again. And this time, it's not about a new meme coin or another exchange listing. It's about a quiet revolution that could redefine how every blockchain works. A new layer is forming above everything we know, promising faster apps, cheaper fees, and a new wave of innovation that could make early believers very rich. They're calling it Layer 3, the next evolution after Layer 2, and the one that could finally unlock mainstream adoption. While most investors are still chasing old trends, the smartest developers are already building here, preparing for a future that looks nothing like the crypto world we know today. So what exactly is Layer 3? Why is everyone suddenly talking about it? And could this new architecture become the foundation for the next bull run? Let's find out. This video is created for educational and informational purposes only. It does not promote or endorse any financial product, investment, or cryptocurrency. All information presented here is based on publicly available sources and independent analysis. Viewers are encouraged to conduct their own research before making any financial or technological decisions. The crypto world never sits still. Every time it feels like things have started to settle, a new idea shows up that changes everything again. We've seen that happen with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, with DeFi, NFTs, and now, once again, something new is taking over the conversation. It's called Layer 3, and it's quietly becoming the next big evolution in blockchain scaling. For months, developers have been talking about Layer 3s as the next chapter in Ethereum's roadmap, but most people still don't fully understand what that means. Is it just another buzzword? Or is it the beginning of a new phase in blockchain architecture, where every project, every app, and even entire networks can build their own custom blockchains on top of existing layers? Let's break it down and see why everyone is suddenly obsessed with Layer 3, and why it might reshape how we think about the future of crypto. The evolution that got us. Here to understand Layer 3, we have to go back a bit. The story starts with Layer 1, the foundation of blockchain itself. Bitcoin was the first, designed for secure peer-to-peer money transfer. Ethereum took things further by adding smart contracts, which allowed developers to build apps directly on-chain. But as crypto adoption grew, Ethereum hit a major problem: scalability. Transactions got slower and more expensive. The solution came in the form of Layer 2 blockchains, which process transactions off-chain or in batches and then settle them on Ethereum for security. Projects like Arbitrum, Optimism, zk-Sync, and Starknet became major players here. They dramatically improved speed and reduced gas fees, letting Ethereum handle more users and more complex apps. But even with that, there's a limit. Each Layer 2 chain still handles many different types of apps and transactions, all competing for space and attention. And as innovation continues, developers are looking for more customization, flexibility, and independence, without losing the security that comes from Ethereum. That's where Layer 3 comes in. So, what exactly is Layer 3? In simple terms, Layer 3 is a blockchain built on top of a Layer 2, just like Layer 2 is built on top of Layer 1. But its purpose isn't just to make things faster or cheaper, it's about specialization. Think of it this way. Layer 1 builds security and decentralization, like Ethereum or Bitcoin. Layer 2 builds scalability and speed, like Arbitrum, Optimism, zk-Sync. Layer 3 builds customization and application-specific performance. A Layer 3 chain lets developers build their own optimized environments for specific use cases, gaming, DeFi, AI integration, or privacy, while still relying on the strong foundation of the lower layers. It's like building private highways on top of the public roads that Layer 2 already created. For example, imagine a gaming company that wants thousands of in-game transactions per second, or a DeFi project that needs instant settlements without network congestion. Instead of deploying on the same shared Layer 2 as everyone else, they can build their own Layer 3 chain, fine-tuned exactly for their needs. The vision behind Layer 3. The idea of Layer 3 isn't random. It's part of a bigger vision where blockchain infrastructure becomes modular, where each layer focuses on one key function. Ethereum handles consensus and security. Layer 2 handles scaling. Layer 3 handles customization. This modular approach means that we could see hundreds of small, purpose-built blockchains, all interoperable with each other, all settling back to Ethereum or another Layer 1 for security. That's an entirely new architecture for the Internet of Value. The first movers: Starknet and zk-Sync. Now let's talk about the real builders behind this shift. Two projects are leading the Layer 3 movement right now, Starknet and zk-Sync. Starknet's Layer 3 vision. Starknet has been one of the pioneers of zero-knowledge, ZK rollups, which compress transactions using advanced cryptography. Their team introduced the idea of Layer 3s for scale and specialization long before it became a buzzword. They see Layer 2 as a general-purpose scaling layer, and Layer 3 as a way to create hyperchains, networks optimized for individual applications. Each one can have its own tokenomics, governance, and transaction logic, but all benefit from Ethereum's underlying security. This makes Starknet's Layer 3 model a kind of ecosystem of ecosystems, multiple mini-blockchains, each with its own unique purpose, all connected through cryptographic proofs, zk-Sync's hyperchains. Meanwhile, zk-Sync has been pushing the term hyperchains, which are essentially Layer 3 chains built using their ZK stack. This open-source framework lets anyone deploy their own custom blockchain that inherits security and liquidity from Ethereum. Imagine a developer being able to launch a blockchain in hours, one that's compatible with the entire Ethereum ecosystem but fully tuned to their own use case. That's the kind of flexibility zk-Sync's Layer 3 approach is trying to unlock. Why developers are excited. The real magic of Layer 3 isn't just in speed, it's in freedom. Developers can now choose exactly what they want from a blockchain: cheaper fees, custom gas models, specialized data availability, private transactions, cross-chain communication. They can create permissioned or public versions, decide how tokens are managed, and even design completely new execution environments. In short, Layer 3 turns blockchain development into something modular. Plug, build, and deploy. It lowers barriers for innovation while keeping security decentralized. That's a big leap from the old one-chain-fits-all model, a parallel to the internet's growth. If this all sounds familiar, it's because the same thing happened with the early internet. At first, there were only a few large networks, slow, general-purpose, and centralized. Over time, the web evolved into layers: infrastructure, servers, protocols, HTTP, and applications, websites, and platforms. Layer 3 could be that next step for blockchain, an application layer for Web 3, where anyone can build their own environment with specific rules, speeds, and designs. That kind of flexibility could unlock use cases we haven't even imagined yet: real-time gaming economies, AI and data sharing networks, instant micropayments, scalable social media platforms that don't depend on ads. All of that needs custom infrastructure, and that's exactly what Layer 3 offers. Challenges and questions ahead. Of course, every new evolution comes with challenges. Layer 3 isn't a magic bullet. It introduces complexity, and that complexity must be managed carefully. Some developers worry about fragmentation. If too many app-specific chains pop up, it could split liquidity, user experience, and security models. Others question how much decentralization will remain if smaller Layer 3s depend heavily on centralized sequencers or custom setups. Then there's the issue of interoperability, ensuring all these Layer 3s can talk to each other seamlessly. Without that, we risk creating new silos all over again, just at a different layer. Still, these challenges aren't deal breakers. Every major leap in blockchain started with questions like these. Layer 2s went through the same phase, and now they're widely accepted as the backbone of Ethereum's scaling roadmap. The big picture: Ethereum as the settlement layer. What makes this entire idea even more powerful is Ethereum's new role in the ecosystem. In the Layer 3 world, Ethereum stops being just another chain. It becomes the ultimate settlement layer. Everything eventually connects back to it. Layer 2s provide general scaling, Layer 3s handle specialized computation, and Ethereum finalizes and secures all of it. It's a full-stack architecture for decentralized applications. Vitalik Buterin himself has spoken about the Layer 3 idea, suggesting that it could be useful for customized functionalities like privacy or faster proofs, though he's also cautioned that it's not simply Layer 2, but bigger. Each layer must have its purpose. That's the beauty of it. Layer 3 isn't just about adding another step. It's about organizing the blockchain world into a more efficient structure. The new race for Layer 3. Dominance. Now that the concept is catching attention, a new race has begun. Every major Layer 2 is working on its Layer 3 framework, trying to become the foundation others will build on. Arbitrum Orbit is letting developers spin up custom chains that connect to Arbitrum's ecosystem. zkSync's ZK stack allows Layer 3 hyperchains with full Ethereum compatibility. Starknet is creating a modular Layer 3 ecosystem powered by Cairo, its custom programming language. Polygon's supernets are offering app chains that resemble Layer 3 environments on their ZK EVM base. It's not just about speed anymore. It's about ecosystem control. Whoever provides the easiest, most flexible Layer 3 framework could become the infrastructure layer for the entire next generation of Web3 apps. What this means for users. You might wonder, how does all this affect the average crypto user? At first, it might not even be visible. You'll still use your wallet, swap tokens, play blockchain games, or use dApps like usual. But behind the scenes, those transactions might start happening on specialized Layer 3 environments designed just for that app. That means faster interactions, lower gas costs, smoother gameplay, and maybe even apps that feel more like traditional web experiences, all while being fully on-chain. So while Layer 3 sounds technical, its impact will be very real for everyday users. Where this could all lead. If Layer 3 succeeds, it could mark the moment blockchain truly scales to mass adoption. Instead of one chain trying to handle everything, we'd have a world where thousands of small blockchains coexist, optimized, connected, and secure under Ethereum's umbrella. It's like moving from one global supercomputer to a network of specialized microchains that all speak the same language. In that world, developers could launch applications as easily as websites, users could interact seamlessly across ecosystems, and Web3 could finally reach the kind of scale and speed needed to compete with the centralized internet. That's the real promise of Layer 3, not just another technical upgrade, but a rethinking of how decentralized systems can evolve. Every major shift in crypto starts small. Bitcoin started as an experiment in digital money. Ethereum began as a smart contract idea few people believed in. Layer 2 was seen as a temporary fix, and now it's a trillion-dollar ecosystem. Layer 3 might follow the same path. Right now, it's a niche topic in developer circles, but the foundation being laid today could define how blockchain works for the next decade. So when people say Layer 3 is coming, it's not just another marketing slogan, it's the natural next step in blockchain's evolution, where decentralization becomes modular, scalable, and specialized. We're watching a new layer of the internet being built in real time, and just like before, the ones who understand it early will be the ones shaping its future. Alright, if you learned something new or enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.